Over the past 10 years of hunting and filming professionally, my journey has evolved. I once sought animals and adventure, and I still seek those things. Yet now more than ever, I seek answers around the growing questions that surround myself as a hunter. I've found that my connection to the land brings a certain clarity to the rest of my life. This is what brings me back into high country. Ever since I was a little boy watching Jeremiah Johnson, I've always dreamed of being able to hunt elk with a rifle during the bugle season. I think the other thing that brought me here was I've always wanted to kill 2 bulls in 1 year in 2 different states. Turns out, this was my year. This year I decided to apply for a tag I had never put in for Wyoming, and just see if maybe I could get the opportunity to hunt 2 bulls in 1 year. After drawing the tag, I started doing as much research as I possibly could. I had a pretty good idea of the area I wanted to hunt, and so from there it was just a matter of finding those public spots and how I could access them. Nice. Right before dark, just spotted a really good 6. He's actually, looks like he's on the private about to jump into the public where we are going to be hunting. Oh, there's a cow. He's got cows. So he is still chasing. And they're trying to get down into the public side where we're hunting. I knew I was going to want to focus this hunt on the beginning part of October, when I could still catch those bulls bugling, but when the temperatures would be a little cooler. Knowing how far we would have to hike in to be able to hunt this spot, I knew our days of staying in there would be limited if there was no fresh water sources. Like much of Wyoming, this area was pretty arid and not a lot of water. Most of what consisted of the area I was hunting was sage and open hillsides. There was a little bit of timber in spots, but for the most part, it was wide open country. I knew if we could find water, that would be the ticket. So my plan the first day was to hike to a water hole I had found on the map and just see kind of what the sign looked like around there. Based on where we've seen the elk and where I think that water hole is, I think that's our best bet. Plus we should be able to spot back on all this. It was a really cool feeling for me to be able to step into an area I had never been before and only seen on the map and start to put the pieces of that puzzle together. Things that I thought were there, timber that I thought was taller, water that was dried up. But now we were here, and I was able to see it for the first time. Instantly, we started to spot elk. I could tell by the way these elk were feeding that they weren't going to come our direction. So I decided to hit the cow calls and just see if I could get this bull's attention. Within just a couple of minutes after hitting the cow calls, 2 young satellite bulls showed up in between me and the herd bull. Up on top. He was a nice big herd bull. Just gave some cow calls hoping he'd hear, and these 2 other bulls that were bedded got up and just came right into our lap. Where the pavement ends, on X begins. That one's a pretty bull, but he's just so young. 6x6. yards. was awesome. He just came on a rope. Whole other feeling having the rifle in my hand. exhausted, dude. Yes. What a great hunt. The weather's supposed to turn on us. 114 yards he lays dead. Let's go check him out, buddy. Let's go up this way. Can't even believe we put it together here. I mean, words can't even describe the feeling being here right now. You know, this just, I mean, look at this backdrop. Being able to follow this bull up this whole draw here behind me and just watch him do his thing. You know, we just kind of skirted right at the tail end of his wind. I just could never really get a super clear shot when Ryan was on him as well, and so we just kept skirting him, and man, it came together. You know, we did end up getting winded, but it forced him across this hillside out into the open, and I was able to stop him with a few cow calls and get him to quarter just enough, and made a good shot there, planted it right where I needed to. Man, you know, it just is so rewarding to step into an area you've never been. I've stared at this area so much on a map, you know, and you try to envision what it's like, and it does change a little when you get here. Some of the undulations different than you envision. Hunting public land and here in Wyoming, BLM. Found this bull the first night we got here. Watched him chase cows down into here and just kind of stayed on him. Last night he was just out of range until right at last light, and we were one ridge too far over. And then today, you know, when a hunt's meant to be, it's just meant to be. We came in and we were actually working through this saddle and spotted a cow bedded in that timber right there behind me. Backed up, used our wind, and sure as heck here came this guy. Pushing cows, strutting, doing everything you hope to see. You know, it just, gosh, what a hunt. Just about 2 miles out of here. It's 8:15 now. As you can see, it's dark. But this is what it's all about. Beautiful night. Got a nice bull. Absolutely great hunt. And I just couldn't be more stoked. We're definitely going to feel the packs, but that's what happens. Whew, man. Stars are out. It just really doesn't get any better than this. Couple miles in, got the bull caped, all the meat prepped, packs full. It's time to start heading out. It's funny the things that you think about when you have a long pack out back to the truck. I started thinking about Jeremiah Johnson and what had ultimately brought me back here. I never really know what's going to spark my interest to go on a hunt. But for the rest of my life, I want to stay thirsty for those new opportunities and for things that inspire me.